Next up, we have Congressman Larson, who has been on the phone with me personally a number of times over the past week, asking for guidance and information about how the USDA programs work, what we can do, and how he can use his position in D.C. as a member of Congress to work in support of our farmers. So, Congressman Larson.
Thank you, Commissioner, and thank you, Governor. We deeply appreciate knowing, first and foremost, that in the state of Connecticut, the first congressional district along the Connecticut River is the district that's been hardest hit by this flooding. We also know, in retrospect, that starting in Vermont and working its way all the way down the Connecticut River, the devastation that has occurred because of disasters like this. And speaking of hands-on, Commissioner, thank you for the calls and getting out there and talking to people directly and making us aware of what we have to do as a delegation. I'm extraordinarily proud of our delegation because, as Dick pointed out, we work together. The word was used a couple of times today, resiliency. Nobody epitomizes resilience more than farmers. My next door neighbor is DJ Burnham, who's standing back there. His family has been farming the same piece of property along the Connecticut River since the 1640s. I believe, Governor, I don't have an official statement, I believe that makes them probably one of the longest continuous serving farms in Connecticut, New England, and I dare say the country as well. You talk about resiliency, and yet they lost more than 160 acres to flooding. I could see it outside of my window where I've been their neighbor for 44 years. There is no harder working family, and you see the work, the dedication that goes into farming that somehow we kind of celebrate as a romantic way of life in so many respects, but has been laid out today. The difficulty of the task, how hard it is, the risk that's involved from planting a seed to ultimate harvest. This demands our help. As Senator Blumenthal pointed out, the laws of the state need to be reformed, but let's start now by amending the agriculture bill to make sure that relief goes to farmers who just aren't necessarily as big as the state of Iowa, but have different kinds of farming needs that we need to make sure, and we've emphasized this with Secretary Vilsack and people in the Department of Agriculture. I spoke with Rosa DeLauro directly, and as you all know, who's on appropriations and leads that for the Democrats. We have Chris Murphy in the Senate on appropriations. We're going to make sure that ag appropriations gets amended so that we can help you out. Now, that doesn't help you immediately as of today, but it does demonstrate, as the commissioner has suggested, that we've got to stay together and continue to look at this business model and see how we as the federal government, as we do with all other states and other regions and other businesses, make sure that one of the most essential businesses on so many fronts stays vibrant and well. It breaks my heart when I hear about people saying, I don't know if we can continue this. I don't know how much longer we can go on with this. We've got to, as a state and as a country, prioritize just how singularly important this is from our very beginnings to today. So again, Commissioner, compliments to you. Governor, thank you for putting this together. We're working with you directly to make sure that we put every ounce of not only pressure, but specific legislation that's good for Connecticut, New England, the Northeast region, so that because to recognize that our farming interests are different than other parts of the nation, but no less in need. Thank you.